Welcome everyone to this exciting collaboration between Fulham Football Club and 0207 Def Jam. We're going to get into everything music and sport, music and football more specifically, and everything that Black British culture has brought to both of those, football and music. And I'm delighted to say, joined by two very special people. They're both called Alex, which makes my job a lot harder. But of course, Alex Iwobi, Fulham FC superstar and co-founder of 0207 Def Jam, Alex Boateng. But we're going to call him Twin, because that's what he's known to everybody. He's known as Twin. Thank you both for joining us today. We're going to really just talk about music, football, what it means to you, and what it means to like people who operate in your spaces. You know, obviously for music heads, it's a big deal, but in sport, it's huge as well. My background is sport. I was an athlete for a very long time, and music was integral to everything that I did, from warm-ups to performance to even just trying to relax. So I'm really interested to find out what it means for you, Alex. But before we do that, Twin,
Yo.
I want to talk to you about your career, because I've known you for a very long time, and I've known you away from music, but when it comes to music, it's something that's in your DNA, like you live and breathe it. Kind of, how did it start?
100%.
Take us through that.
I think in terms of music being in my DNA and being in my bones, I have to credit my parents. Always music around the house. Every weekend at a different Ghanaian party, listening to High Life and Michael Jackson and everything that was popping at the time. And then also growing up in East London. My corner of East London, I feel like, was where grime emerged, and was growing up at a time where you couldn't really avoid it, man. Like, it was a soundtrack to everything, be it pirate radio, parties. And my twin and I made a big decision, which I think is probably the most important career decision in music, to DJ. Where you set the tone for the party, do you know what I'm saying? And I think, like, you know, that again was house parties, climbing out the house to go to pirate radio, and you had people like in the area like Lethal Bizzle, Tinchy Strider, Wiley, Dizzy Rascal, becoming superstars from being on pirate radio stations and watching that happen and being close to it. So I think that was the backbone of it, definitely.
And I guess it became achievable, being able to see those artists doing what they were doing in East London. I'm from East as well, so you're totally inspired. Like, you kind of go to college with the stars that are of now. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about Lethal and J2K and that kind of crew. You think to yourself, wow, okay, they can do it. When you saw that, how achievable it was, how important was that for you to know that you too could, you know, go through music into where you are now?
You know what? It's a weird one, because they were artists, right? But even that, it was like incredible to see, like, Dizzy Rascal at a fun fair and trying to avoid situations and and then a few weeks and months later, he was on top of the pops. It was insane, and winning the Mercury Music Prize. And that, you know, I wasn't an artist, but at the same time, it definitely, like, created a belief that you could move through the industry and create a career path for yourself. And then after that, you kind of work out that there's a whole behind the scenes side of the industry. And while you're kind of coming up as a DJ, and I was studying at the time as well, like, did a degree in marketing, and then you start to understand, like, I thought the industry was Simon Cowell and like X Factor, do you know what I'm saying? And then you see, that's all I knew, do you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that there was jobs in legal and A&R and marketing and a whole industry side of it, and it wasn't just about the artists, but the people behind the scenes and managers. And then you start to learn, and to be honest, like, when I was first into it, like, it's so much more diverse now. But again, everyone did kind of look like Simon Cowell, do you know what I'm saying? And then you start to see people around the artists, like the DJs and the people emerging and becoming managers and getting more involved on the business side. And you start to get to know them, and then you start to understand that there can be a path, and you can use your skills and what you learn to help boost artists' careers. Because you think, you know, you've got, the only way you can get into music is if you rap or if you sing or blah, blah, blah. But then you start to understand that there's a whole bunch of skills and a whole industry behind what you see on TV and listen to on the radio.
Isn't it amazing? Now we're sitting in your corner office. You are a co-founder of a label, and a brilliant label at that. To be able to reach, you know, this is pretty much a pinnacle for a lot of people in their music career. How does that feel now, to know that you are that guy, you and your brother?
It still feels kind of surreal when you think about it. And also, like, you do something every day, and then you get to the stage where there's moments where you play your first game, where you score your first goal. Like, for me, the first thing I worked on at a record label was Tinchy Strider, #1, with Dappy at Island Records. And it was mad because that went to #1. And I was like, right, this is light work, man. It's easy. I'm going to do this every week. And then you wait a long time for it to happen again. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think you just kind of work on yourself, on your skills, on what you offer. And then you grow into hopefully something. And then when it happens, sometimes you've got to step out of it and reflect. Like you have these moments, or you sit back, or you're at a show and someone that you thought had talent is now doing their thing in front of thousands of people and changing their life and their family's life. And then you think, okay, rah, like, so there's those moments, but then you still have to get there, stay there, and keep trying to be better than you were yesterday.
And I hear it because there's a mad synergy between the music side and the sports side, Alex. When you think about like football, your journey as a footballer to where you are now, how much do you resonate with what Twin's saying in terms of the hard work, knowing the moments are, sometimes they're quite fleeting, that they can go, but actually it's what you do, it's what you love. How much do you resonate with that?
Yeah, no, when you said about going like number one, and then doing your thing there, like when I came up in the scene with Arsenal, my debut, sorry to say, I scored against Everton. And the next game I'm scoring again against Watford, and after it just dries out. You have to maintain that, be consistent, work hard, and then of course you made a lot of sacrifices to get to where you are. So I totally understand what you're saying, just in a different field. For sure.
It's amazing. And having you here as well to talk about music is pretty special because we know you're music heads. You love your music. Like if you talk about passions, we're very lucky to all work in the industry or the field that we love, whether it's sport or music. But you kind of sit across both. You love it all, right? And how important is it for you as a footballer knowing that you have that escapism, that outlet to be able to have your music?
It keeps me sane, but like music's always kept me sane as a kid. Like where I grew up, you either want to be like a footballer or an artist more time. Obviously, you're meant to focus on your education and not say anything like that. But to have that balance, like I've always loved my music, but I've kept it under wraps. So it's nice that I can express it and show it now, and people are like, oh, he has more to his life than just football. So it's nice.
Why did you keep it under wraps?
I don't know, like, you know, as a kid, when you're getting into the football scene, you don't want people thinking, oh, he's distracted, like, he's not focused on football. But, like, the older I've got, like, I'm at a point where I'm at peace just to, like, showcase me as a person, not just Alex the footballer, but Alex as, like, a human, first and foremost. And it's what I say to my boys all the time.
Tell me what it's like, then, on a match day in terms of your playlist, your warm-ups, because as athletes, we were quite individual, so we'd always have our headphones on, right? And we'd warm up. I'd make sure I'd make sure my playlist would hit at certain points where I knew I had to put in a speed effort, or we're going to do the blocks now. So I'd kind of make sure that my playlist would, you know, I'd have a sick, like a hard grime tune or a drill tune to make sure that I'm ready to go. But as a team, how different is that for you guys? Like, who takes control in the changing room, for example, of the music?
Right now, I think it's one of the physios, man. It needs to get moved. I can't.
Physio?
I'm sure it's a physio. I don't know. Or the kit man. I'm not too sure.
Wow.
I'm
That's
not
a
too sure.
responsibility.
No, it's a
Wow.
responsibility. But to be fair, he does a good job because in my team, there's a lot of like different backgrounds. Like some people from London, like the London music, the latest London tunes. Some will like the American old school Jay-Z tunes. And we've got a lot of Brazilians, so we hear a lot of like their sort of music. So they have to cater for everyone. However, like, as much as that's going on, I'll still have my AirPods in and be in my own zone. So I like to listen to my own tunes before games.
Okay, so you can dial in and do what you want. And just very quickly then, what about when you're on international duty and you're with Nigeria? That must be mad.
In the airport.
Yeah. Even in the airport, there's certain, I can't even say the word, circumstances, like we still have a vibe. Like, you know what it is? Before games with Nigeria, on the bus, the journey there is always elite.
Must be a vibe.
It must be.
The first, 5-10 minutes, people probably don't even listen to their own music. One of the players has, like, a fat speaker. He'll be playing, like, the latest current mainstream songs.
Sick.
And after that, it's just literally praise and worship. And it's obviously...
That's amazing.
It's mainly Catholics, but we have Muslims in the team as well, and they actually get involved as well, which is like it's a crazy moment, and everyone's singing the songs, everyone's involved. Yeah. Even like if you have foreign coaches, they try to get if they don't sing, they're clapping at least. Yeah. So it's just a nice moment.
Out of rhythm.
Yeah. But they're trying, innit?
They're trying.
One time they're trying. That's the main thing. But no, it's nice before games. Then in the stadium, it's literally just like mainstream Afrobeat music.
Yeah, but it's good though, isn't it? Because I guess there's a sense of home when you think about music. I think a lot of the time when I was travelling, I'd make sure my place would be really London-centric. And and I made it that way to remember where I was from. If I was training in the States, I'd be like, actually, you know what? I want to remember where I'm from. I'll make it really London-centric. But when you think about the black culture in music and what we've dealt with, especially in the last 15 years, how much has it shaped it, Twin?
Culture?
Yeah.
Massively, man. And the thing is, the best artists are always like, because if you go historically with music, music was like, and I'm talking historically in terms of like, back to our roots in Africa and the Caribbean, and like, music was the news. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people, there wasn't radio, there wasn't newspapers, like, through music and rhythms, like, you're telling people what's going on. And the best artists now, I think Dave's an incredible example, Kendrick, like, people that really, like, help you understand, like, what is going on in the world, how people are feeling, what's going on in people's hearts and minds. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's, like, music is an outlet, man. And it also can just change a mood, like.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think about the way it's formed and changed the charts as well, that's something that's we've not seen before, ever, have we?
Yeah. Nah, not at all, man. Like I was saying, when I started and it was Tinchy #1, that was mad. Like, I grew up with Tinchy, like, not tall enough to kind of even get in the rave, and then he's like get buses into the rave, and you know what I'm saying. And then you're going up to Scotland and girls are fainting because he's on stage. It's like,
bro, I remember when I was young and I see Tinchy, like Lakeside Shopping Centre. I was gassed. But like I was looking down at him like, bro, like, I'm getting gassed on this guy. Bro.
But why is Tinchy catching strays? Like, we love Tinchy. We love Tinchy.
He's a G. Love to Tinchy, man. Like, he's a G. Trust me. But it's like, I swear he's on the wall. Tinchy's over there. That's my guy,
Amazing.
man.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, that wasn't, again, like, the industry was, if you go X Factor, then you go #1, if you're on top of the pops, or if you're going through a big machine. But Tinchy came from the street, do you know what I'm saying? And then you fast forward to now, and you have artists that are like, they don't need a singer on the chorus. It's not about trying to work out how you get on the radio. People are being very undiluted in what they express, and they're like, it's a business around it now, do you know what I'm saying? And they're able to have commercial success and be in the charts and not have to work out how they're gonna make their music understood.
And for you, Alex, when you think about like the music that shaped you as a person, where does it take you back to? Like childhood in particular, what are the sounds that you could hear when you were younger?
A lot of gram and Afrobeat. Obviously, I grew up in a Nigerian culture, so a lot of Afrobeat in the house. If I'm going to church, before church, if I'm with my dad on the way back from training. Oh, not my dad, because his music was horrible. If my mum's in the car, then my mum's music's normally making sense. But like, if I'm going to school, like, everyone be having like their Black Breeze or Sonny Erickson. No one really had headphones, so you put on like the window just to make like the volume a bit louder. So everyone's listening to like the latest gram songs, and then people, like, remember playground, everyone try, like, if you're not playing football, everyone's trying to freestyle.
Spitting.
Yeah, everyone's trying to spit some bars or something, a quick 8. Never made sense, but everyone was trying, so that's what it takes me back to.
And when you look at artists now, what's shaping your sound at the minute? What's on your playlist and stuff? We're going to come into like the big bulk of it, but when you look at the shape of your playlist, who kind of influences that?
It's mood dependent, you know. It really changes. Like, if I had to go like most listened to artists like right now, it would probably be like a Gunna. It could be a Chip. I'll always listen to Chip. Those two right now.
And I guess then also at the same time then, Alex, have you discovered any new artists like based off of social or any other platforms?
I wouldn't know their names, but like, if you get in a TikTok hall, boy, you just hear the latest tunes and everyone's doing the dance or something. That's how I'd learn like most of these new artists. If not, like, I normally go on and it's on Insta to see what's the latest songs every Friday, Thursday. But yeah, now TikTok nowadays is where you find some crazy songs and crazy artists.
Obviously, it's Black History Month, and we are looking at the ways that I guess Black people in the UK have really impacted the culture, especially when it comes down to music and of course with sport as well. With your Black teammates and I guess your Black mates from all over, how much do you guys get in and dial into music? Is it something you sit down and talk about? Do you share stuff? Or is it mainly just quite organic? You just hear it, and if they're in the car and you're playing it, they might ask.
Yeah, with my friends, we love music. Even like the news around music, like what's this guy doing with like Fashion Week, for example, or what song he's gonna put out, the music videos. Like, we always talk about like always the latest things. So we always like to keep up to date. In the training grounds, yeah, everyone loves the American. Like the people I be around love the American music. They're like the latest Future songs, the latest Gunna, Lil Baby, or when's Lil Baby gonna put out something? But in the UK, yeah, like especially Calvin loves like the grime drill side. Gets a bit excited when he hears like the latest K-trap or something. But yeah, no, even my friends outside of football, we're always talking about music and like the latest news of music. We always like to stay up to date.
And the connection between music and sport, like growing up, I always felt like a lot of my teammates, especially the men, like they were amazing at sport, whether it be football or athletics or whatever they were playing, but they all wanted to be rappers.
Even me, that's why I'm trying to do the music thing. I'm trying to be good at music as well. But like, for example, when I was with Wretch that time,
Yeah.
Wretch, I'll be honest, he's not bad. He's not bad.
He's alright,
He's alright. He's alright. But like, he wants to play ball. I've seen Dave try to play ball. I've seen Stormzy was in goal.
Man said Stormzy was in goal. Stormzy was goalkeeper.
Yeah. So like, everyone loves football. Like, everyone loves football the same way like we love music.
Yeah.
Them lot love football. I don't know what it is.
I think they're both entertainment, you know? Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's both like people escape through both. Do you know what I'm saying? Like whether it be like at Fulham's ground, like Craven Cottage, or you could go to the Emirates to escape. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you, bro.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. That's my place of, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the same way, I see the same thing in people's eyes at a concert that I see at football. You know what I'm saying? Where you can switch off from life and you can really like see people be excellent at what they do.
I do want to speak to you both about as well representation and legacy as well. I think for you, Alex, you know, you are so visible, whatever club you've been at, but in Fulham in particular, you know, you stand out as Alex Iwobi. Now, do you feel that burden on your shoulders sometimes, or do you see it as part and parcel of the job that you have?
I've never ever felt the pressure, but it's nice, like, especially the manager I have now, he gives me that license and that freedom, like, even if I misplace a pass, go again, just don't be afraid to express yourself. So it's so nice, like I feel free. And it's all for a good cause because he knows I'm not being selfish. I'm still trying to help the team. I'll try to help the team get a goal or create a chance. The same way I'm, like the last game we played, I'm defending more than I'm usually doing. So yeah, like it's nice, it's a nice balance and I'm enjoying my time at Fulham.
And then we've obviously, you know, it's well documented, your history up until Fulham now, and as a little kid in your football kits, and you've just loved it from since you were little, right?
Yeah, I've always been playing. Apparently, my dad said before I learned how to walk, I was running around kicking a balloon. I'm still waiting for that footage, but he keeps reminding me every day. But yeah, no, I've always loved playing football, and I don't think that'll ever go.
Sick.
And when you talk to, I guess, the younger footballers now, whether they're professional or maybe up and coming, what kind of stuff do you say to them?
The same thing I was told, like, don't be afraid to express yourself. I was lucky and blessed to have an uncle in that's a Nigerian legend. Yeah.
You should say his name.
Oh, I was like,
you would know.
JJ.
JJ Okocha, you should say it.
Yeah, but
One of the best.
But yeah, I was blessed to have him as like a role model. So even going to his games, going to watch him at training grounds, and he was always the same, just literally playing with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
So whenever like I've been get that chance to speak to someone that's younger than me or wants to be an upcoming footballer, I told them the same thing. Like, don't be afraid. Listen to your coaches, listen to your parents, listen to your peoples, but please be yourself. No one is you. Express yourself in football. And I guess I'll say the same thing like anything though, not just football, like in life.
Real talk.
And I guess when you think about representation and legacy, like you are one of the few, if not one of the only co-founders of a label that is black in the UK.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do. Do you think about that at times when you think, oh, I can't drop this ball because there are so many people looking at me?
Yeah, man. I think that because of the lack of representation, you feel extra pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? And you feel a sense of like, I always remember like when I was growing up, whenever there's a black person on TV, like everyone's rushing around the TV, don't embarrass us, they're representing all of us. Do you know what I'm saying? And there's that same sense of like when you're in a position where there aren't many of us, you feel like, right, let me not, do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I also know, and it's amazing, as you said earlier, like that things are changing so much. So it's even more important to do a good job so that people know the standard and that people know like, that it's not just about ticking the box, but you've got to try and be excellent. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Alex isn't in the team like to tick a box or because the manager's trying to put some black players in the first 11. It's like, because he wants to win the games. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I know that with the work that I do in any area, I want to make sure like it's like the best it can be.
At one point, Fulham was like absolutely killing it with black players. It was actually really nice to see, really, really nice to see. And everybody was like, it was like a band of brothers that were there and you're all playing so well together. And how important is that you have an element of familiarity with the culture within the club so you can play well?
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, it's nice to have like Calvin. We grew up with the same background, same Nigerian. We always banter about like what we're gonna eat and all of that. But like you learn about like Brazilian culture. You learn about like Cess is from like Ivory Coast. You learn about that sort of Africa. So you learn about different things, and it's just nice that we have a different mix. But like, it's nice that people from other cultures are trying to tap into our culture. Like, they'll try and speak the way we speak with our accent and try and like even say, oh, like, why is your food so spicy? It's just nice that everyone's willing to learn about each other, especially our community. It's nice.
Well, we are here for a reason. And I know that you've been both busy trying to think of some songs you're going to add to this playlist. So who wants to go first? We're going to just pick one song and you're going to explain to me, to everybody watching, why that song is super important. Twin, you know what? We're in your office.
Yeah, man.
You go first.
So the first one I've got is Drake, One Dance.
Okay.
Not only a massive hit and an incredible record, I think like one thing Drake's amazing at is really tapping into cultures around the world. And being someone from the UK, I was so proud and lucky enough to do some work with Drake and his team. And at one show, like before it came out, like we were talking and he was like, yeah, man, I've sampled this. I'm not gonna try the accent. I've sampled my flavor. I don't wanna shame myself. Yeah, I've sampled this song. Do you mind? Like, and I was like, no way, not the funky tune. And it was just insane to see like 40 and his team sprinkle magic on something that was already a classic record in the UK. Do you know what I'm saying? So for that to be used and something that I grew up on and heard, and then one of the biggest artists in the world, turning it into like an international hit, and then adding Wiz as well, like the Afrobeat source, like, nah, man, for me that was a moment.
Alex.
Not because of like rivalry or anything, but I'm gonna go Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. I like that. I like it.
I had to. It was actually last on the list, but when he said Drake, I said, you know what, let me do like a little.
Kendrick.
I do respect Drake. Drake's got like he's done a lot for the culture.
Amazing,
like he's amazing. But that Not Like Us song, like the music video is what made it for me. Like when I actually had to dissect the lyrics, I'm still trying to learn each lyric properly, like what they mean. It's like there's a deeper meaning in what he's done, and like even how he got the whole community out to support his song. He's got different people in the background. He's got different, I think there was athletes involved that he was supporting, like where he grew up, like the food shop, and then there was a lot, even like his old, I think it was old label people, his brother or something. There was so much behind it, and just like him embracing his culture, it was just sick. Like I enjoyed it.
So we've gone Drake and we've gone Kendrick. So we started strong. Your next one, Twin.
My next one is a UK music classic, one of the deepest lyrical records the UK's ever produced. It's powerful. It's Big Shaq, Man's Not Hot.
What's
Big
the
up
story?
Michael.
What's the story?
You know what? It's like it's bigger than just music, that tune, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It was like Michael's one of the most incredible creatives you could ever come across, and like just see again, that was just UK culture. What he's wearing, busting joke, the accent, undiluted, the way that travelled, like. And I was lucky enough to sign that record at my previous label, and it was just amazing to see, like, you know, it's just fun, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like little ones, like a lot of them, like I remember we travelled to the States and people was like, yo, you're hard, man, like that. Yeah, man, damn. I'm thinking, rah, do they know this is a joke?
Alex, your second tune.
I'm gonna go Gigs Talking the Hardest.
Okay.
That takes me back to my childhood, just hearing that. Even like now, it still goes off years later. Like the song's incredible.
No, it does. Does it get you ready? When you hear it, do you feel like you're ready to go on the pitch and like...
Oh, you know that Adam goes, I'm ready for aggression. Aggression, I'm ready. Nah, that song is timeless,
Gigs
man.
Talking the Hardest. Okay. Twin, your third tune.
Stormzy, Blinded by Your Grace. I feel like Storms like is just an important person, not just an important artist. You know what I'm saying? And I think like from where he came from, the path that he's carved, the path that he's still carving, and this record for him to like talk about his faith as well, like because I definitely feel like God puts me in certain places. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about what you do. So I feel like for him to do that and do it so loud and to make such an incredible record and something so powerful, it's real, and it's the same guy that put a trackie on in the park and said, shut up. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the juxtaposition, and it's like, you know, like it's someone who's able to do both and be very real and be authentic, do you know what I'm saying? And both are him. And I think that that's like something that we all have in us, where there's a whole range of sides we have to us, but I think that's a really important part that guides him and other people.
Your third tune, Alex.
I'm gonna go to an Afrobeat legend in Wizkid, Don't Dull.
Wheezy.
That takes me back to when I went to Nigeria, like for the first time since I was born. I think I was like 13, 14, and he brought Superstar, the album, and I went to Nigeria and it was all they were playing, like, and Don't Dull. Even like if you go to an African party now, you'll be sitting in the corner, Don't Dull. So even now, once again, that goes off. And Wizkid, like another great artist, like legend.
Twin, your number 4.
Number 4 is obviously Alex is Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian. but somewhere inside me, I'm definitely Jamaican. I identify as a Jamaican deep inside. So there's, you know, when you're talking Jamaican music, there's like, it's Bob Marley in it. Do you know what I'm saying? And the song's Waiting in Vain. And I feel like Bob, like, for a country as small as Jamaica, the impact they've had on the world in so many different spaces, like Bob represents that. And Waiting in Vain, I just think it's just like one of his most special records, man. I just feel like I believe him in the song, man. Like, he's not waiting. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no waiting, he wants it now.
Alex, your fourth song.
This one was difficult, but I'm gonna go Thames Burning. I came back from Paris recently, and it's all me and we just get burning and burning. It was so like Thames' voice is amazing. And I think the first time I heard it was like the song with Drake and Future.
Amazing.
I was like, who is this? Like, I didn't know. I wanted to learn about who she is, but I kept on hearing different songs and bangs. She made Love Me Jed, just thinking, nah, like, she's got tunes. Her voice is so talented as well.
One of the best vocalists out there at the minute. Your final song on your playlist.
No, I'm going to stay in Nigeria. A new artist that we work with, a young lady by the name of Bloody Civilian. She's got a song that I love called How to Kill a Man. She's a young woman from Nigeria who is 100%er, which means she produces, she writes. You know, in a lot of places, it's not hard. It's not easy to be a young woman, let alone a woman in the industry. She does a great job. She's also got a great song with Odumodu Black called Blood on the Dance Floor. And Odumodu's got another amazing song called Declan Rice.
Yeah, I bet you love that song.
I love it. It's a smash.
Just speaking. No, but I mean, when you think about some of these new artists that are coming through now and they have to be these triple threats, how important is that for them?
I think it's you know what, it's important, but it's like, you know, like if you're a manager, right, and you have a player that you can put, like Bukayo he started at left back when he emerged, and then now he's like one of the best attackers in the world. Like, that's great. But if you've got Alan Shearer who's just going to score goals, that's sick as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's amazing if you can do everything, but like, you know, you're not going to ask certain artists to go and play the piano. You don't want them to, unless you're Dave and you can do everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Dave is like Bukayo, but I think if you're just an amazing rapper, I just want a great 16 bars from you. I don't want you to sing like you singing for your dinner. Do you know what I'm saying? I just want you to rap. Or if you produce, I just want the coldest beat from you. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's good if you can do more than one thing. I think that's incredible. But like, just be good at what you do.
So that's your final song. What's your final song, Alex?
I'm gonna add my tune in there with Don Elito and I'm gonna call him Scully, but everyone knows him as Tubac Pom.
Oh, so, sick.
Something we put out recently. Obviously, we grew up in Newham.
Yeah. I was born in Newham as well.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I was born in Lagos, but we moved. I grew up in Newham at some point in my life, and we made a song together called Don't Shoot, just sending a message like, we don't shoot, like, stay off the streets.
If you had to pick an artist that's out there already that you'd love to collab with, who would that be?
Wretch when I was younger, but I've got a tune with Wretch now.
Sick.
Chip, definitely Chip.
Sick.
We spoke about it. Hopefully one day it comes to light.
Make it happen. Well, thank you. That's been enlightening for me, and I'm pretty sure for everyone that's been watching. We're looking forward to seeing how that playlist comes together, and of course listening to that as well, some beautiful selections. And if you're watching, I hope you enjoyed that. Go and check that out, that playlist, Fulham FC 0207 Def Jam collaboration. Thank you.